Did you know that some African leaders have been in power longer than many of us have been alive? Imagine leading a country for over 40 years, shaping its destiny, controlling its resources, and in many cases, resisting all calls for change. In today's video, we're diving deep into the stories of 6 of the longest-serving African presidents, leaders who have clung to power for decades, often amidst controversy, international criticism, and widespread demands for democratic reform. Across the African continent, the phenomenon of long-serving presidents is both a testament to the resilience of some leaders and a stark reminder of the challenges that many African nations face in achieving true democracy. These leaders, often seen as strong men, have ruled their countries with an iron fist, resisting all attempts to democratize or share power. Their extended tenures have led to various consequences, some positive but many negative, including entrenched corruption, stifled political opposition, and economies that serve the elite rather than the masses. The prevalence of such long-serving leaders raises critical questions about the future of democracy in Africa and the potential for meaningful change. One of the most prominent examples is Theodoro Obiang Nguema of Equatorial Guinea. In power since 1979, Obiang holds the record as the world's longest-serving president, having led his country for over 44 years. He came to power in a bloody coup, overthrowing his uncle, and has since ruled Equatorial Guinea with little tolerance for dissent. His government is often criticized for its human rights abuses and its extreme concentration of wealth in the hands of a few. Despite Equatorial Guinea's vast oil wealth, the benefits have not trickled down to the average citizen, and the country remains one of the most unequal in the world. Obiang's ability to remain in power is largely due to his control over the military and security forces, as well as his skill in navigating international diplomacy, often playing larger powers against each other to maintain his grip on power. Then there's Paul Biya of Cameroon, who has been in office since 1982. With over 41 years at the helm, Biya has overseen a nation that has faced numerous challenges, including an ongoing conflict in the Anglophone regions of the country. Biya's rule is characterized by a highly centralized government and frequent accusations of electoral fraud. Despite his age and the numerous health rumors that have swirled around him, Biya has shown little interest in stepping down. Instead, he has repeatedly changed the constitution to extend his rule. His longevity in power is partly due to his ability to keep the military and political elite loyal through patronage, ensuring that any potential rivals are either co-opted or neutralized. Yoweri Museveni of Uganda, in power since 1986, is another key figure in the discussion of long-serving African leaders. Museveni was initially hailed as a reformer when he took power after a protracted guerrilla war. However, over the years, his government has become increasingly authoritarian. Museveni has maintained his position by systematically dismantling term limits and other constitutional checks on his power, while also ensuring that key military and security positions are held by loyalists. His tenure has seen Uganda develop economically, but this has been accompanied by increasing political repression and a clampdown on opposition voices. Museveni's ability to stay in power is a testament to his political cunning, his control over the military, and his willingness to use force to maintain his position. Denis Sassou Nguesso of the Republic of Congo is another long-serving leader, having first come to power in 1979 and then returning to power in 1997 after a brief hiatus. Sassou Nguesso's rule has been marked by civil war, political violence, and widespread allegations of corruption. Like other long-serving leaders, he has used constitutional amendments and electoral manipulation to extend his rule. His government has been criticized for its lack of transparency, human rights abuses, and the vast wealth accumulated by his family and close associates. Despite these issues, Sassou Nguesso has managed to maintain a firm grip on power through a combination of patronage, military loyalty, and repression of opposition. In Eswatini, formerly Swaziland, King Mswati III has ruled as an absolute monarch since 1986. Unlike the other leaders on this list, Mswati's power is derived from traditional authority rather than a republican constitution. He has resisted calls for democratic reform and has maintained control over the country through a combination of cultural influence and control over the security forces. Despite the country's economic challenges, including high levels of poverty and unemployment, Mswati continues to enjoy significant support from traditionalists who view the monarchy as a crucial part of Swazi identity. His rule is characterized by a lavish lifestyle, while much of the population struggles to make ends meet, leading to periodic protests and calls for reform. Lastly, Isaias Afwerki of Eritrea has been in power since the country gained independence from Ethiopia in 1993. Afwerki is often described as one of the most repressive leaders in the world, with Eritrea frequently referred to as the North Korea of Africa. Under his rule, Eritrea has never held national elections, and the country operates under a one-party system with no free press or independent judiciary. Afwerki's government justifies its authoritarian measures by citing the ongoing conflict with Ethiopia, but these measures have led to widespread human rights abuses, including indefinite military conscription and arbitrary detentions. Despite international condemnation, Afwerki has maintained his position through a combination of fear, repression, and a carefully cultivated narrative of external threats that justify his rule. These leaders represent a significant challenge to the democratic aspirations of many Africans. Their extended rule often means that political power is concentrated in the hands of a few, stifling opposition and limiting the potential for change. The impact of such long-term leadership can be profound, leading to economic stagnation, social unrest, and a lack of accountability. Yet, these leaders have managed to stay in power through a variety of means, including constitutional manipulation, control over the military, and the suppression of dissent. As we explore the stories of these 6 leaders, it becomes clear that their ability to maintain power is as much about their personal political skills as it is about the structures of power that they have built around themselves. Whether through patronage, fear, or a combination of both, these leaders have ensured that their grip on power remains unchallenged. But the question remains, at what cost? The longevity of these leaders often comes at the expense of democratic development and the well-being of their citizens. In many cases, the countries they lead are left with weakened institutions, divided societies, and economies that serve the few rather than the many. So, what do you think about the state of leadership in Africa? Are you from any of these countries? What do you think of your president? Do you believe that these long-serving presidents will eventually step down, or will they continue to hold on to power? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more in-depth content on global politics and the struggle for democracy. Let's discuss in the comments, and together we can better understand the complexities of power and governance. Share our video, like, and subscribe to our channel.